Hey family, I am so glad to be back. It feels like I have been gone forever. Melinda, I'm so glad you're here. Will, thanks for being here, brother. Chantrell, my beautiful daughter. Hopefully, Jazz is with you. I love you too, girl. Petzotics, Diego, glad you're here. Gerald, thank you for coming through. I am going to bring out the beautiful Taylor. So we'll go ahead and bring her out. Hey, Taylor.
Hello. I am so happy to be here with you guys.
Oh my God. I have looked forward to this. You have no idea how I have looked forward to this.
I know
Um,
I have too, and it seems like the schedules just always happened, and then, family things happened, and we never got the time. So I'm happy we were finally able to do this.
Not only did we get to meet you and Dax when we were down at Earl's when we were in Texas, but we got to see your beautiful animals, and oh my God, we were blown away. But I got to kind of through messaging and things like that get to know you guys too, and I can't wait for February because I'm hoping we'll get to spend more time with you guys, which is going to be amazing. And
Yes.
so I do want to bring a lot of what you know about the retic environment community, all of that great stuff, because you guys have some amazing stuff. I saw your
Thank you.
ocelots. Oh my God, they are amazing.
They are
Um,
beautiful. They're
yes,
phenomenal.
yes. I've never seen anything that gorgeous. I mean, I love my Angus. I mean, he is the most beautiful baby on the face of the planet. But your guys' ocelots are they're amazing. So I'm hoping that you'll show some stuff off. But for everybody who does not know who you are, just tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, of course. My name is Taylor, of course. Dax and I do DNT Retics. We started up about 2 years ago. It started with us going to NARBC for me to pick out a snake. And at this point, we were going, and Dax was like, "All right, I'm gonna buy you your snake." And at this point, we already had two ball pythons and a boa. So we were, he had his snakes, and I had came into the picture. And then I was like, "I want a snake. I want my own snake, one that I can call my own." And he's like, "All right, we'll go to NARBC." So my first time there, I'm like astounded. Like, this place is phenomenal. There's so many cool animals. So we're looking around, we're walking, we see Will Banks, we see all the cool ball python breeders. And I was like, nothing is just really catching my eye. Like, I'm not seeing anything that's like, I need this snake. Like, I have to have this one right now. And so we're walking past, and I turn and I look and I see this snake, and I'm like, what is that? And I walk over to it, and TJ from TJ's Constrictors introduces himself. He's one of our very close friends now. And I was like, I want that snake. And Dax is like, no, hell no, that's a retic. I'm not doing it. They get way too big. It's not happening. And I was like, you said I could have any snake I wanted. Like,
Big
you can't go
mistake.
against that now. Huge mistake. And he realized that. And he's like, well, we don't have the enclosure for that. And I said, I'll buy it. I'll buy the enclosure. Well, they're like $500. I said, okay, I'll buy it. I don't care. And he's like, well, I gave you an 800 limit, and this snake is 950. And I was like, okay, I'll pay the extra 150. So he bit his tongue there. We got our first retake. It was a Motley Golden Child. It's het mocha or het albino. We haven't proved him out yet. His name is Loki. I'm sure everyone that knows us, he's like our
I love
mascot.
Loki.
Yes, he
I
is our
love
mascot.
Loki.
I'll bring him out a little bit later. But he's almost 2 years old now, and he's about 7.5 feet. That spiraled into the chaos that it is now. A month later, we had two more retics. Another month later, I think we had 3 or 4 more. And finally, we were like, you know what? Why don't we get some information, start doing some research, see what it entails in order to be keeping these animals and be breeding them like we want to. So we did research for maybe about a month and a half, 2 months. Um, it was a lot of communication with the people that we were buying from. TJ is phenomenal about education. And then I met Amanda and Gavin from In Your Face Exotics because we purchased 2 girls from them right after Loki. And they are phenomenal people. Amanda is like my sister now, and Gavin is very close with Dax. They gave us so much information. They were like open arms, whatever we needed to know. And so we started learning from them. And then Amanda and Gavin were nice enough to be able to give us all of the information and help us start off to be able to sell. So we did our first show in, was it September of 21? September of 21. And we just went from there, and it's just spiraled, and we have loved every single second of it.
Well, I was lucky enough that I got to see Loki when we were down there. Of course, Kyle had him everywhere.
He
Kyle,
always has Loki. Always. If I have Loki with me, then he's not actually with me. He's
there's
with
not
Kyle.
with you. Kyle has him. I did see Kyle is in, Ashley is in, Gershon is in, Zach came in, John. It's so
What's
good to see you.
up?
Ken, thank goodness you're in too. Did I miss anybody?
Yeah, someone else.
I missed somebody else.
Joel,
good to see you, and brother Jeremy. Oh my gosh, thank goodness. Like, did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. I hope so. So getting Loki, was that really what kind of got you going with your reptiles, or just?
Absolutely. It was the personality of the retic, how inquisitive he was, how sweet he was, just how involved he was versus a ball python for us. Our daughter breeds ball pythons. She's 13. She has Jules' noodles. And she's actually going to be vending at NARBC this year. But yeah, I know it's very exciting.
Will she be in Arlington?
Mm-hmm. She will be.
So cool.
But seeing the difference in retics versus ball pythons for us, it was just kind of that kicker that, we really love these animals. We love how inquisitive they are. We love how intelligent they are. And even though, yes, they do get big, it's an animal that we love, and the size doesn't really matter to us. So Loki kicked it off. It was all downhill from there. That was it.
I know when you bring him out, for anybody that has not seen Loki, they are going to fall in love because he's just that gorgeous. And that's what I kept saying. I begged for Angus for 4 years. For 4 years. And when we were finally down there in Arlington, I got Angus. But he's so intelligent. They are just so intelligent. And he's never bitten, knock wood. I mean, I'm not doing anything that I'm not doing any behaviors that have caused him to want to, but he'll let you know if he's not in the mood for you. He'll open his mouth and he'll just be like, hey, not today.
Absolutely.
I'm not having it today. And I just go, okay, babe. And you've got your space. We're not. He'll let you know when he wants to come out and be with you, and that's it. He's just so smart. So I understand your love for the retics because they just have that intelligence. I love my ball pythons. And I wouldn't trade them for anything. But there's just a different type with the retics that I'm just so amazed by.
It's so different. It's so different, and I can't really explain it. It's just, I think for me, because I am a very outgoing person and I'm very loud and always doing something, and having a reptile that isn't like that for me, it doesn't flow with me. And my daughter, and she'll probably get angry at me for this, I call them pet rocks. And I say it fits her perfectly. She's a 13-year-old. It fits her perfectly. I'm like, you're lazy just like your pet. It's fine.
You're
Go.
fine. You're fine.
Look, there she is. But I can't explain the feeling about, okay, go, thank you. I just can't explain the difference in the feeling of, a retic versus a ball python for me. It's just, I love them. I love the size. I love the colors. I love the morphs, the patterns, just how engaging they are. And not only with us, but Loki is a different kind of breed of retic, and he never ceases to amaze me. He's never struck. He's never bit anyone, knock on wood. I can let him roam with our dogs, and they play. They play together. And I mean, we have corgis, and so they'll be jumping over Loki and like playing with him, and Loki is just like slithering on through the house like it's nothing. And he's the laziest thing ever. I go to feed Loki, and he sits there and stares at me, and he doesn't have a normal feeding response. He will open his mouth and wait for me to put the rat in his mouth and then close it.
He's like a little ambassador, though, because everywhere I
He
saw
is.
Kyle with Loki, people were just everywhere. And Loki's just like, yeah, because I'm the star.
And he knows it too. He absolutely knows it.
Oh my God. You can just tell that he's used to the attention. I did see
Oh,
D-Rod
yeah.
come in, and I want to say hi to D-Rod. I'm just like, I mean, he was just like everywhere, and Loki was just like, people were like, oh my God, he's beautiful, and Kyle's like, yeah, isn't he gorgeous, he's my snake, and I'm like, he's Taylor's snake.
Next time I see you, Kyle, you better watch out.
Yeah, he was, oh my God, he's amazing. He's amazing. Now see, I don't even know if I've made it past one or two questions. I get you talking on one or two things, and I'm just
That's
like,
what
I go off on
happens.
a tangent because I'm just so excited to have you on here. I did see Kyle say that Ashley's begging for a retic, so we're gonna have to talk him into it, Taylor.
Ashley begging for a retic? I think it's the other way around.
Oh. Is it the other way around?
I think Kyle wants a retic.
Probably so. Kyle's probably saying, we could get a Loki.
We'll have to see, Kyle. We're going to have to discuss things.
Yeah. Now, do I know that you and Dax do the retics together? Does your daughter help out with the retics at all, or is the ball playing hers?
She'll help if I need her to momentarily. If it's like changing waters, if I say, "Hey, Jules, can you grab this water dish and go rinse it out?" Or if I'm having her help me with some shed or cleaning, she'll help momentarily. But she's not a retic fan. I don't know whose daughter she is. I really don't. She's not mine. I found her on the street somewhere.
Our daughter hates snakes completely, so we don't have any idea.
Well, she was deathly afraid of snakes at first. When we had our ball pythons, we had a normal ball python, and she was deathly afraid. And I took him out, and she's screaming and crying. And this was 2 years ago. And I told her, I was like, just hold it. She's like, no, it's going to bite me. No, no. And I was like, just hold it. It doesn't even have teeth. So she thought that snakes didn't have teeth, and she held it, and then she fell in love with them. So then I told her a few months later, well, they do have teeth, so there is the possibility of getting bit. But now she loves them. After her having, 4 or 5 of them, her love grew, and she decided that she wanted to breed. So of course, Dax and I wanted to do everything to be able to support her. And we told her, down the line, when you get older, doing this, you're going to have that extra money. You're not going to have to work at McDonald's when you're 16 like everyone else. You're going to be able to do what you want. You're going to have something to support yourself. But we also told her later on, you still have to have a stable job, because breeding snakes is not a stable job. It's a hobby.
No.
So, but she's very excited. She loves her ball pythons. So I'm happy for
super
her.
excited. We're gonna come by the booth when we're down.
Yes, please
Definitely
do.
gonna come by the booth. Now, when you were getting into the industry, who did you look up to?
There's a list of people. All right.
I got time. I got time. Nothing but time.
TJ from TJ's Constrictors. He was the first one who got us started on retics. Gave us just that hand down basic knowledge that we needed in order to keep them. But every single time we needed something, he was always open to answering questions. And he's like family now. Him and his mom, Joanne. Every show that TJ goes to, mom goes to, and I call her mom because she's basically family now. But she is one of the sweetest ladies, and you see TJ, he is this giant that looks like he's going to be this big badass, and he's the biggest teddy bear. And mom is probably my height. I'm 5'2", and she's just over there holding like the biggest steak in the world. She doesn't even care. So TJ definitely, Amanda and Gavin were the next ones we got into, knowing and getting information from. Aubrey Pruitt has been a phenomenal friend to us. Geez, where do I keep going? Sarah with Amanda and Gavin. Shane Costello has given us some amazing information. Eric Lee, Garrett Hartle. Babe, who am I missing? Who we've gotten information from? He can't even think off the top of his head. But the entire, like, the retic community on who we deal with, Keith, Jim, Chris and Sarah McVicker. Oh my gosh, yes. How can I forget them? They're very close friends of ours too. So it's been this very open arms community, which we are eternally grateful for, because without them, we'd literally be nothing.
I do want to stop for a second, say hello to Jeremy and Charlie and Tammy that just came in to join us. We've got new people coming in. Now, are those the same people that you look up to now? Same people across the board?
Oh yeah, we've all become very close. Such good friends of ours. I mean, it's not a day goes by that we don't really talk to them. So even if it's just bullshitting and not talking about snakes, I mean, they're just close friends now. And if we ever have any questions, we can message them. So they are definitely who we look up to in the beginning, now, and for the future.
For the future. See, those are the kind of people I love to have around. I think once you build your family, it's always there, you know? Yep. That's why we go to the NARBCs and, you know, we build for the future. Yeah, we're going to vend. But now for us, it's a family reunion. I mean, it's for us to go and see family. And it's such a big deal for us. I did see Big D come in and Sammy. So good to see you guys. I swear to God, every time I see Big D's name, all I can think about is Big D, Big D, Big D. That's all I hear in my head. It's over from there. How far has women in the industry come along since you entered?
I would definitely say that I see some more women like stepping up. Sarah McVicker has always been front and center with Chris too. She's phenomenal. She deals more with the boas than the retics. But I mean, she's always been front and center, and she's taught me a lot about that, as well as Amanda. And Gavin, they have multiple companies. Gavin really runs their tattoo parlor a lot, and he does a lot of the behind the scenes breeding. But Amanda is front and center as In Your Face Exotics. So seeing her being able to run that really shows me like, hey, like it's not just the men that can do this too. Women can do it. So I think there have been a lot more women trying to step forward, which I'm really happy to see, along with my daughter starting young and being able to do that and showing her like, hey, come on, let's bring more women into this. Like, don't be afraid to do this. It's okay.
Exactly. And I think that's why, you know, we wanted to start this show because we wanted to just bring, I say this, we love our guys. They're great, they're wonderful, they're everything, but we don't really get the spotlight just on us. We really
It's
don't.
true. It's
And
true.
and we're right there in the trenches just like they are. We're in there pulling out snake poop, and we're, discussing the different genes. We're in there putting the boys and the girls together, and pulling clutches and cutting eggs and doing everything that they're doing, sometimes by ourselves because they're at work and we're shipping snakes and doing all the things that all the
Yep.
guys are doing. So we really, it's important to us to kind of bring to the front and center that us women are right there in it together. So
I completely agree. And Dax will back me up on this. A lot of times, I mean, we'll be out like at DFW here in Dallas at our little reptile store. And I mean, most of the time, we have tons of shirts, so we'll always wear our shirts. And someone will see me, but they'll see Dax and be like, "Hey, you're Dax from DNT Retics." And I'm like, "I'm the T. Hi." I'm the T in DNT over here. That's me, Taylor. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi.
I did the name. I did the name. I did the logo. I did it all. Hello.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is a little bit like, well, what about me? But we're both so in it together, and I mean, we split the work so that all the big breeders that we have upstairs, I generally take care of. I clean them, I shed them, I do their bowls, I do the feedings for all the big girls and guys up here, and Dax takes care of babies downstairs. But I mean, pulling eggs, we do together. Cutting the eggs, I do because he's too afraid to do it. But I mean, Dax will tell you this, and he's in the chat, so I'm sure he'll back it up too.
I just saw him come in. I was going to say hi.
As far as like morphs and everything like that, he'll tell you 100% I know everything more than he does. So it's kind of like we work together to do things, but I don't always get noticed because they see Dax. And I mean, he's a big guy. I get it. He's got a New York accent. He's loud. I get it. But I'm Italian. I'm just short, and it's hard to see me over someone tall. So, but I would definitely love for women to be seen more than they are. I think we need it.
Exactly. I did see TK Exotics come in and Kevin from 4S Python, so I'm glad to see them. I'm with you. I am 5'2" and 3/4. I do not let him forget the 3/4 because he's always trying.
Well, you're 3/4 more than I am, so.
He's always trying. He's always like, "You're 5 foot nothing, Mrs. Donahue." I'm like, "I'm 5'2" and 3/4. Don't you forget it." Give me every 2 3/4 I got.
Right. We need everything that we can get at this height, okay?
And I'm Irish and Scottish, so I've got the little bit of temper that goes with it. But it takes a long time for it to fire up. And he didn't know when he married me that I'm a natural redhead. I kind of kept that part hidden.
See, in mine, I had my hair blonde like yours, and it was short. I mean, I had my red when I met Dax, and then I went to Vegas to see my best friend who's a hairstylist, and I was like, "Make me a platinum in 3 days. Do it." And she's like, "I'm not doing it." I said, "Do it." And she's like, "Fine." So I came back blonde, and he was like, "I want the red. Put it back. Put it back." So then the red came back.
Yeah.
So
He's never seen it red. It's always been blonde since we've been together. I don't think he could handle me as a redhead. He'd be like, no.
It's dangerous. It's all dangerous.
He'd be like, whatever you do, put it back the way it was.
There's less attitude. Just put it back.
He thinks there's too much attitude as it is. He's like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. As a woman, have you had any negative situations or any interactions with male counterparts?
Oh yes. I will get a lot of, well, not a lot. I would say a handful of instances I've had in the 2 years that we've been doing this, to where I'll be talking to a customer and it's a male, and they won't think I know what I'm talking about. And they'll be like, well, can I talk to him and ask him some questions? And I'm like, well, what do you need to know? And then, well, I just want to talk to the breeder. And I'm like, you're talking to her. Can I, and or people will second guess. There was an instance at one of our shows. A good friend of ours had bought a snake from us, a baby, and a customer walked up who was also a retic breeder and was like, man, what is that? And I told him, and he goes, no, 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 that can't be what it is. And, that's not right. And I was like, no, it is. I sold it to him. And he's like, well, are you sure? And I was like, I'm positive. Thanks. So I think it's just kind of, people aren't used to women doing it as much yet. But we'll get there. We'll show them.
I think we will get there. I think it's taken some time, but I think the more and more that we're out there and in front of them, and they get used to seeing our faces in the crowd, out there on these podcasts and at the NARBCs and things like that, I think they're going to get used to it, and it won't be as bad.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I'm right there with you, Angie.
Crossed. I thankfully, and I'm hoping because I want to get some more of the retic people on here. I'd love to have some more beautiful lady retic people on. So if you can hook me up, that'd be really great.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, she's going to get some of her beautiful retics out. She's going to show some great stuff. Am I reading right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I can't see without my contact. What can women bring to the reptile community?
We can bring a lot of sass, first off. Don't mess with us. But I think we also bring an extensive amount of knowledge. Women, sometimes I feel that women are much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Detailed on things when it comes to a lot of projects as well as organization. I mean, it's known that women are much more organized than men. Most of the time, I'll give some men the benefit of the doubt, but when it comes to a lot of that organization, I mean, it's just the key little things. Before, when we had just our little bunch of babies, before we had all the ones that we had now, we didn't have labels like on the bins. We would just look at it and we're like, oh, that's that one. That's that one. I've come organized to the point to where I created our own little business card slots to where we have our cards. It's got the half state, it's got the morph, it's got the gender, it's got, everything on it. So just little key details, I think really make that big difference. Having, the nice presentation that we do with the banner and the table banners and, the retractable everything like that. I think those key details and just having that eye, because women have an eye for those things, I think really helps out too.
I think so too. I absolutely think so. I think the men are great about getting out there and selling, but I think we have the eye to, like you said, to get the details out there. And I think we're good at schmoozing people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, schmoozing, and when it comes to like a family where the wife may not be as intrigued about having this reptile in the house, I think us talking to them and being able to connect with them first, because everyone knows women talk. We can talk to anyone.
We
I
can
mean,
sell ice cubes to Alaskans. I
exactly.
mean, you
So being
know,
able to have that connection with something and someone, and not even worrying about a sale is something that Dax and I are both really big on. If we don't sell a snake at a show, we're not upset at it. We're there to make connections. We're there to get our name out. We're there to educate people. So being able to educate a woman who might be afraid of these snakes and have her hold one for the first time, and then later on down the road, she's like, "Hey, I really like that lady from this company. Let's go back to them." There you go. That made it.
exactly, exactly. I did see is it Gabriel? Gabriel Blue come in? Good, 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 good. We feel the same way. We've made connections at the post office. They ask us to bring our snakes in when we just come in to mail stuff now. They're just like, will you bring one of your snakes in just so we can
I
see it?
love that.
And we're like, yeah. And I went in to mail out some thank yous today, and he's like, oh well, next time you come in, will you bring in, one of your babies? We're like, yeah, 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 we'll bring in one of the babies. So I saw Holly come in. Holly, we're glad you're here. So yeah, we're just like, we don't care if like you, we're not making that sale at that point, but they'll remember us. We had
Exactly.
and this made me so excited. I don't know why, but it did. Halloween, we didn't even have any of our snakes out. I think I had just put Angus back in his enclosure. We went to answer the door to give somebody some candy and stuff. And the kids that were on the stoop, they go, I know who you are. We watch all your videos. And we were like, oh my
I
God,
love that.
we love your snakes. And we're like, oh God. We had no idea that anybody in the neighborhood knew who we were because we just don't put it out there.
Right.
So it was just the funniest thing in the world. And we gave them their candy and we were like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. We smiled and we turned around and we looked at each other and we were like, oh my God.
That is so
It
awesome,
was
though.
just
I
the
mean, to
funniest
get
thing in the world to us, but it was just like so awesome because they knew about our snakes and they knew, it was almost like they were expecting us to have one of the babies with us, and it was just so funny.
I love that. And I love that the young generation now is getting so intrigued and interested in reptiles. I mean, when I was growing up, they weren't as big. You know what I mean? It wasn't as big of a reptile community as it is now. And I think getting these kids into it young and teaching them about these animals, that retics aren't bad animals.
Oh
Ball
no.
pythons aren't bad animals. Um, I think it's a great thing to do, just to educate the younger generation.
I think, and I've had a lot of ball python people on the show, and I'm just so excited to have you on the show because I'm so intrigued with the retics. I did have Lady Tiss on early on, and but we didn't get to see any of her animals because she wasn't at home. And
Mm,
so this to me is so exciting because you know how much I love you guys. Um, and I can't wait for everybody to get to see your stuff. But and Dax asked if he could answer this next question, and I just laughed because
oh God.
one word that describes you.
Am I letting Dax answer this question? He's listening right now on his cell phone while he cleans
You,
babies
you
downstairs.
know, you know, just one word that you think is like your overall.
Well, Dax's word for me, what he calls me, is a PETA, and it means pain in the ass. So I'm guessing his word for me would be PETA. Mine would either be persistent or ambitious. I'd probably go with persistent because I will drive and drive and drive to get to where I want to be or to get what I want. So
I think that's a very good word. I love that. I love that.
thank you.
I think Jeffrey's word from me. I think Mr. Donahue would say
Probably PETA.
sassy
Yeah,
ass.
I like PETA. I like PETA.
He's always saying I wake up with too much sass in that ass.
I love that. Yeah, Dax calls me as PETA. He's like, you're a PETA.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
just like,
But you wouldn't love me if I wasn't, so it's fine.
Okay. When all is said and done and you've passed on your keeping, what do you want people to remember you for?
Man, that's a good question. I want people to remember us not as people that we're trying to sell, but people that we're building relationships. Because that's what we want to do. We build relationships with everyone that comes to our table, whether or not they're going to buy or not. It's not, are you going to buy a snake? And they're like, no, well, then go away and move on. I have other customers. We're here trying to build those relationships and just trying to build the community. We're not shutting people down if they're messaging us saying, hey, I didn't buy a snake from you, but this is what's going on. Can I get some help? We're always there to help. So we just want to be known for building relationships and just always being able to help people.
I have to say, and I don't want to embarrass you, that when we were down there at Arlington, every time that we came to your table and even tried to squeeze in, you guys were surrounded. Completely surrounded. Your table is always jam-packed with people.
It's low-key. It's only low-key. It's fine.
It's you and Dax, and the fact that you take the time. We saw people holding your animals. We saw you talking to them. We saw you explaining things. We saw you telling them about the different genes. And, like you said, maybe they weren't buying at that time. Maybe, something was out of their price range at that moment or whatever. Those are people that are going to remember, though. And they may not have the money at that moment, or they may, put it on the back burner or whatever at the time, but they're going to remember that and they're going to come back to you because of that.
Yep.
And it was just like, it was every time, and we were doing some laps around there because we were trying to get around, and it was just so impressive. And I loved that about you and Dax because it was just so amazing. And it was just like, you guys are such great people. And
thank you.
Like I said, I didn't want to embarrass you, but I put it out there. I
appreciate that.
Oh gosh, the truth is the truth, and when you see people doing good, and it doesn't, it's not them trying to make a sale. It's trying to make, some educated people out there, whether they're buying from you or buying from somebody else. It's a great connection. So.
Yep. And we always, like I said, our retic community is very, very tight niche. And while we're always welcoming to new people, it's a lot of the same people that have known each other for years. And if we don't have something, we're the first to say, hey, we don't have this, but let me take you over to these people. It's not, well, try and buy this instead, or this one's really pretty instead. It's, I don't have that right now, but our good friends over here, they do, and they'll be able to take care of you. So we're always trying to share the wealth to everyone, and we always make things fair. Like, I don't know how it goes in the ball python community, but because there's not many retic breeders that go to NARBC, there's usually about 5 or 6 of us. And what we'll do is, if one of our friends come over and they're like, hey, I have a few of these, say, mochinos at my table, I saw you guys have some too, what do you have them priced at so that I can price the same thing so that people aren't going back and forth, you know, because one's $50 cheaper than the other one. So all of us work together in that way and really support each other so that, you know, we all have a fair chance.
I
So-
love that. I absolutely love that. Hey, Eric, I know that, I don't know, we haven't vended yet, but I know that when we put ours up on Morph Market, that's what we do, is we price fairly, because we definitely don't want to undercut anybody. We want to be in the same brackets with everybody else, because that's never our intent. We want to make sure that we're doing the same by everybody else.
Exactly.
We did have to do a sale at Christmas, though, because we were trying to get them babies out of there. I got to have rack space.
You know what? And sometimes you have to. We'll do sales around the holidays. We'll do sales like beginning of the year. We'll usually do a special like right before a show where it's like, if you mention this ad, we'll do 10 to 15% off, whatever it is. But I mean, everyone does sales, so you can't really get around that. But having the same general price at the same time is something that I think is really beneficial. So there's not that, like that disconnect of people to where one person is saying, well, I have this one priced at this, why can't you lower yours? Or you have a customer going back and forth, well, I really like the details on this snake, but I don't have that kind of money. If someone comes to us and they're like, hey, I only have $350, but this snake is $425, we're not going to turn you away. We'll sell it to you for $350. It's not a big deal. I think it's just, like I said, building that community and letting people share the joy. Like, who are we if we're going to keep an animal from you for $75?
Right. Exactly.
So.
We absolutely will try to work with people. TK Exotics is 20 minutes away from us? Holy cow. I didn't know that. We'll have to get to work together. See, I'm finding people. I'm finding people I didn't know lived here. Goodness sakes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're like East Independence. Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah. We'll get together. Most definitely. Absolutely.
Was that all the questions?
No, I get sidetracked. You should know by now. Under 25 years of marriage, he should know by now.
They never learn. Learn.
No. Oh my goodness. Now, what other social media platforms do you guys use? Where everybody can find you, because everybody needs to drop some links so everybody can follow y'all.
We have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. It's all under DNT Retics. So you just type in DNT Retics.
Oh, I'm too old for that.
I need to get more on it. I started and then I was on a upward climb, and then I stopped and I got busy with work and family matters happened, and then it was just kind of downhill from there, but I need to get back up. But we do, I feel like sometimes you'll get more views on TikTok, but it's all an algorithm and it's confusing. And I can't figure out the algorithm yet, but one day I will.
You know, I could make some TikToks, but they would be at the gym and I would not be getting my gold stars. I've been really good at the gym lately, so I've been earning my gold stars.
There you go.
I have been really, really good. Okay, awesome. My questions are done, so that means I get to see the good stuff, right?
Yeah. Let me go. Babe, pull out a surprise baby for me. Pull out a surprise baby.
Oh yes, how did you guys get into the ocelot project?
We can thank Aubrey Pruitt for that. Well, you guys can kind of see the layout of our house here. It's a mess. I'm sorry. The corgis are driving me insane. Can you turn on these lights?
Okay, Holly's in southern Oklahoma, so we'll be going right through there when we go down.
Ah!
Mhm.
It's so bright. He put in new lights. Oh my God. Okay.
I love all the caging.
So this is kind of like when you, well, okay, this is my front door is in front of me this way. So you walk in and we've got all of these.
Oh man.
I'm trying to figure out, there we go. Okay. So we've got all of those there, and then you walk this way and there's more here. And then there's more right behind the, or under the TV there. We've got 3 of them. But, and then we've got more in the bedroom.
Now,
Okay.
Kyle's already saying don't be showing off his boy, but we already know that we're going to see Loki at some point.
You already know, Kyle. He's right here.
There we go. There's the beautiful Loki.
There he is.
Oh my God, he's gorgeous.
So as you can see, I could just pull him right out and he's fine.
Hey,
He's about to go
Kent,
into blue soon.
look at the iridescence on him.
But he's a good boy. Like I said, he is not like any other. So, and Dex has, what do you have? Here we go. There's the ocelot.
Oh. Just the pattern on that is amazing.
Oh, I know. The pattern is phenomenal. And Aubrey just made not too long ago the orange glow ocelot, which is phenomenal. Loki, what are you doing?
Loki knows he's a star.
He knows. He really does. He knows. But yeah, he's about to go into blue probably in the next week, but you can see still how iridescent he is.
Yeah, he's just absolutely stunning.
And he just goes all over the place. All right, bud, go back in. Let's see, who can we pull out next?
Okay.
I can try and show you our big girl. If I can get the camera the right way. So this is my favorite girl who we're trying to get gravid right now. This is Lorelei.
Oh my God.
And she is a GC Phantom Tiger het albino that we got from Sal Valletta from Sal Daddy Retics.
She's beautiful.
She is about 16 feet and about 86 pounds.
Oh, she is gorgeous, Taylor.
Yeah, she's my girl, and her demeanor and disposition is just the same as Loki's. I can reach in and start petting her, and she's fine.
She is gorgeous.
Yeah. Trying to see who else. Let's see. I think all of the other little ones. 8. I can pull out Scar. He's
Did I see somebody? I can't. Holly said she can't wait to meet up.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay.
come here, bud.
Well, they didn't look dirty.
Oh no.
All right. Let me be able to set the computer down. Doing this one-handed doesn't always work. All right. So this is Scar. He is a lavender platinum Motley Sunfire Tiger.
Look how beautiful.
And he's about 2 years old as well. Just a little bit younger than Loki, and I'd say a little bit smaller than Loki, girth-wise and length-wise, maybe a foot smaller. But he is the daddy to our clutch that's currently in the incubator. And that was his first time breeding.
So he did a good job.
Oh, he got it done in 10 minutes. It was phenomenal. He was ready to go. But he's Dax's boy. But his disposition is just like Loki's as well. Very calm, Very loving.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm. He's a sweet boy. Let's see. All right, time to go back.
I'm telling you, every single one that you guys have is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
I was lucky to get the one I got because Mr. Donahue, the black, like Loki,
Hmm.
if it would have been up to him, we would have had one that looked like Loki.
Yeah. Is she? Let me see if I can get her out.
Because he's just like, no, black iridescent, and I'm like, who's getting the retic? Because
I thought it was me.
I thought I was getting it because you don't want one.
Let's see if I can get her. These enclosures get a little bit tall, and being short does not play into this very well. Come here, girl.
I have to climb on chairs just to get to most of these.
Oh, I refuse to let Dax stack them that high. I refuse. Come here. There we go. Okay. This is Electra. Let me set the computer back down. We got her from Sal as a hatchling as well. She's an Orange Glow GC het pied. So let me put it up there.
Oh. Holy cow.
I'm trying to see if you can see it. There we go.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Now you can, oh man.
Come here.
At first you
Body
couldn't see
light
the
up.
pattern and then,
Mhm.
wow.
So she will be paired with a Mochino het pied so that we can make Mochino pieds, Orange Glow pieds, Mochino GC pieds, Orange Glow GC pieds. Trying to think. So, but she's going to be a big project for us as well. So I'm excited about that because Orange Glows are probably one of my favorite morphs.
Okay.
They keep their colors really well. And I just love how they look.
She's pretty too.
Yeah, she's a good girl. We do have spicy ones. Don't get me wrong. But they don't need to come out.
That's it. Every time I get Angus out, Mr. Donahue's like, he's sizing me up. He's sizing me up. I'm like, no, he's not. He's just so sweet. He's not sizing you up.
I don't know how to turn on these lights or else I'd turn them on. I'll probably mess up something if I try. You can't really see. You can kind of see. That's Ursula. She's just a regular Orange Glow.
Oh, I like that pattern too.
She's a big girl.
She is a big girl.
She's only about 11 feet. She looks a lot bigger than she is. But she can be spicy.
She's a spicy one.
She's spicy. Let me see. I'll pull out one more for you guys. And I'll tell you about this one. So this girl we bought from Amanda. This was our second retic. And when I bought her, Amanda said she is a little bit aggressive. She's so aggressive that I even refuse to handle her. And I said, great. Okay. So she's currently wrapped around the hook right now. But once I get her out, she's fine. So the first night we brought her back home, she wrapped around Dax's arm and wouldn't let him go.
Oh God.
So every time I got her out, I would just work with her and basically let her hang on my arm as tight as she wanted. And every night that I would do that, she would loosen up and, then she became comfortable. So she's just a little bit cage defensive, I would say. But once I get her out, she's fine. So she is a dwarf citrus marble albino tiger.
Oh my gosh. Look how gorgeous she is.
There we go. This reverse camera is confusing the heck out of me sometimes. So she's a dwarf citrus marble albino tiger. And like I said, when we first got her, she was banging the glass every time you walked by. She was attacking. She was doing everything she possibly could to try and scare you. So a lot of it was working with her. She would wrap around my arm. There were times when it would turn blue. She wouldn't bite or latch. She was just wrapping really tight. But as time went on, she got looser and looser and more comfortable. She does not like Jack still, but she's my baby. So
Can they do?
Ask her about dreamsicles.
Can you do dreamsicles?
no.
Why did you say that? Yeah.
What is the lavender pied called for you guys? Kyle had told us. Kyle, what's the lavender pied called?
It's Dax and Kyle are talking in the chat. That's why I said that.
You just stay over
it a
there.
dreamsicle? Is it a dream? Is that what a lavender pie is? It a dreamsicle, babe? Okay, Kyle, they're called lavender pieds. Just saying. So we found out that a dreamsicle is a lavender pied for ball pythons.
Ah.
And I said, why don't you just call it a lavender pied? And he's like, we named it a dreamsicle. And I was like, they're just lavender pieds and retics. That's all it is. Just a lab pied. Which I don't know why the retic community doesn't make up names like the ball python community does, but it's just a lab pied.
They just don't.
But yes, we do have lab pieds. We don't have dreamsicles, but we have lab pieds. I can show you guys down here. Dax is doing some cleaning right now. So this is what we started with when we first started breeding, and it was just this little area. And there he is in all his glory. He's not listening to me. Excuse me. And then I'll show you guys our other little room and pull out some babies for you.
So I can see the snakes took over their house too.
Let's see. The snakes are taking over our house as well.
They've taken over everything.
He said,
So
"Oh, the kids are great."
This is a little storage room that's in our garage, and we converted it to the snake room. Works perfectly because it stays at 84 degrees.
That's
So,
perfect.
Hi, buddy. Are you going to be nice? There you go. So, here's your dreamsicle. So, this is a low white lavender pied.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So Angus is lavender het pied.
So he's just a regular lab. Labs are so I prefer labs.
Lavender albino.
It's the same thing. Right? Same thing?
Yep, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, buddy. Let's see some other beautiful stuff that we have. Hi, how are you? So Shane Costello, like I said, we're good friends with him as well. He's entrusted us. A lot of our good friends in the retic industry don't have time to do as many shows as we do. So we help them out by helping them sell some of their babies. He creates some of the most phenomenal purples and sunfires that you'll ever see. So this is one of his. This is a purple sunfire tiger het OGS.
Oh man.
And with the het OGS, it'll actually help keep that orange color versus turning yellow.
Oh. Look
So.
how sweet he is.
Oh yeah.
See, that's how Angus is.
So,
He's not sizing you up.
Let's see. What else can we pull out here? Well, we've got another oscillate down here. There you go. You're fine.
I believe it.
So here's the other female ocelot that we have.
Oh, I love those ocelots.
Mm-hmm. I just love the coloring and the pattern.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you're the only one working it.
Are you guys the only one working the ocelots?
No, there's I'd say probably about 4 or 5 other people right now that are
Okay.
working the ocelots. Jay Brewer has his hands in it. A lot of super dwarf people are starting to get their hands in it as well to try and get ocelots on super dwarf spring.
Okay.
So there's quite a few people with their hands in it, but Aubrey is hands down the one with the most going on for it.
Okay. Well, when I think of it, I always think Dax and Tay.
Well, we appreciate that.
I like ocelot, Dax and Tay.
No, we were lucky enough to be able to get one from Aubrey so that we can kind of incorporate it in some of our programs as well. But yeah, he's the king of it. He's the one we turn to with all the questions, and I mean, we're just helping him because he doesn't have the time to do everything that he wants to do. I mean, he works crazy hours too, so he doesn't do all the shows that we do. So we just help him out.
That's awesome, though.
So is ocelot recessive then?
Ocelot is recessive, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
He's in the background. Always in the background. When I get talking and things like that, I forget about the chat. So he runs the chat while I'm talking.
Hey, you know what? That makes life easier. It's okay. It's okay.
I would totally forget what was going on if he wasn't over there running everything. I'd be just like, he'd be like, there's people talking over there. You need to be doing something. I'd be like,
Yeah, we were just truly blessed to be able to have Aubrey let us be able to sell his animals with him. Being able to have the ocelot on the table, especially at the shows. No one else has an ocelot on the table for sale. So I think that was something really big that also set us apart. And just having his trust with that animal. I mean, that's a very expensive animal. So knowing that he trusts us that much in order to care for these animals and keep them alive and, you know, help him spread the market and his name, because I mean, we're not taking credit for anything. You know, these were produced by Aubrey Pruitt, and this is everything that is. And if you want to talk to him, you can. We're just helping him out as friends.
that is awesome. I now I know where it came from, so that is amazing. I love that. Good night, Kevin. Thanks for coming through.
Oh, my nephew's on here.
Is it Deegan?
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I missed him.
So Deegan, actually, he used to breed colubrids, and he got his first retic. Was it our last October show in Oklahoma, or not October, Oklahoma? Aubrey and Brittany are the best. They really are. And now he's hooked on them. He's hooked on retics, and I'm so excited. But I've created a monster.
That's not a bad thing, though.
It's really not, and he is phenomenal and so intelligent and so persistent, and the way that he's going, he's got such a good head on. He's 21, and he is a firefighter. He's going to medic school. He works a full-time job, and he's doing clinicals.
Awesome.
I know, and he's starting a reptile business now. He breeds gargoyles and crested geckos, and he loves all reptiles, and now he's going to start with retics. So I couldn't be more proud of him. He's phenomenal.
You can't ask for any better.
I really can't. My sister had phenomenal kids, all of them.
And we have one that's completely afraid, and she was a Marine. I don't know how that happens. You can be in the Marine Corps and be afraid of snakes. I love that girl to death. I just don't understand it. And then our son, he'll come and take care of them when we're gone. But I mean, he's just like, yeah, snakes, but yeah. I'm
To
like,
each their own.
why does not one of our kids want to do our
To each their own. It's fine. They'll get into it one day, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. One's 30 and the other one's 28. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. We'll see.
You never know. It took me being, I mean, I was never afraid of reptiles. I had geckos growing up, and I had a bearded dragon. But I never had a snake because my mom is petrified of them. Like, you don't even show her a picture and she freaks out. So I was never allowed to have them, but I was never like, yeah, I want to get a snake. And so it was kind of like not a culture shock, but when I met Dax, he already had them. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I don't care. But I wasn't into them like I am now. And I never thought I would be here. But I was 32, and here I am, 31, and here I am. So it's never too late.
It's never too late. It absolutely isn't. I mean, we started with one for my 50th birthday. No. Yeah.
See? Never too late.
Yeah. And hundreds later.
Mm-hmm. That's how it goes. You buy one and you're downhill from there.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay. I have kept you for over the hour that I normally promise everybody, but because I enjoy you so much, I have enjoyed this so much, and I cannot wait till February to see you guys and to get to hang out with you guys and to get to come by your daughter's booth and to see her and her ball pythons and catch up with everybody.
She will be there. She'll have her little tabletop retractable banner, and she'll have her we got her like a table runner to go over our logo on ours. So she's got her own table runner and her tabletop banner. So she'll be there. She'll have her little half a table.
I am so excited.
She's all set. She's very excited.
I am so excited. You tell her that Celtic Balls is coming by to see her.
I will, absolutely.
And video her, because we're going to put her on the channel. So
yeah, she'll love it.
We will absolutely do it. I'm going to put you backstage, sweetheart. I'm going to tell everybody else, have a good night. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It was so much fun. I loved it.
Oh my gosh. I loved it. Okay. I'm going to put you backstage, and I'm going to tell all these beautiful people good night.
All right.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. You guys mean so much to us, and we love each and every one of you. We are going to be right here doing what we love, loving what we do. You guys keep chasing that dream.